What did I think about the other classic female ninja skins and the MK3 skins? Stick around and find out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 2 of my classic reviews. My name is Brandon Chamber the Wraith, and today we're going to be taking a look at the, quote, brand new MK3 skins for the ladies. And then we're also going to be reviewing the other classic skins I didn't exactly get around to. I know I covered them a little bit in the previous review, but I want to go a little more in detail with the MK3 skins that we got for Kung Lao, Jax, and Kano, alongside the classic skins we got with Sonya Blade, War Games. So let's dive in. For those just joining us, I wanted to let you know, I'm going to fill you in and tell you what the ratings were for the classic skins that we got prior to this. Scarlet's was a 2.5 out of 10. Katana's was a 3.5 out of 10. The male ninjas, Scorpion, Noob, and Sub-Zero, were all 4, and Jade's was a 4.5 out of 10. I don't believe I rated any of the others or gave them straight numbers, but if I did, then ignore those because this is where we're going to actually rate them now. So we're going to start with Scarlet. And once again, she has the worst of it. Because, once again, they gave a classic skin to a character that never had a classic skin to begin with. And I don't recall the MK3 skins having that kind of hair. Excuse me while I very quickly double check. Let me see. MK3 Katana. Screen. Because that way you can actually see. I'm getting Mortal Kombat X Katana. I'm getting MKX Katana. This is not what I want. I want Mortal Kombat 3. I want Mortal Kombat 3, because this is what they're based off of. They're based off of MK3. Oh! Okay, well, they do have the bun, but they don't have the chopstick through them. They just big old earrings, which they did have. So this is faithful, just a slight alteration. It's like, I don't remember them ever having that. But overall, visually, this is a lot better than just this, because there's at least a little more going on. And if I'm gonna admit something here, I really like these boots. But that's basically it. That's enough to drag Scarlet from a 2.5 to a 3.5 for me out of 10 across the board. And the colors don't really save her here. Ugh, Sorceress of Carnelia is just a nope. And this isn't even red. This isn't even red. Come on, guys. But honestly, I do like the names: Old Blood, Pure Hunger, Strong Pulse, and I got some new words to look up. Alizarin and Carnelia. I'm pretty sure those are just made up, but yeah, overall, MK3 Scarlet is basically just what I'm gonna give these guys. A slightly better version of MK2, because there's more going on. I don't really give a shit that we have the stitched over boot window, but really it's just a 3 out of 10 skin, if I gotta be honest. At least there's a little more going on, because there's gear attached to it that we can actually have a look at. The mask is alright. Oh, that's another thing I completely forgot to talk about. I don't have the classic MK2 gear pieces because it didn't come with the skins in the challenge rungs. So, the gear, by the way, won't influence too much, just because, oh, it's neat. But the thing is that it's not. Whoa, that is admittedly kind of cool. But I think I'll rate the gear separately, because I could have the gear on anything, not just the skin. You know what I mean? So I can afford to rate. Ooh, I like the bottle too. Right now it's looking like the gear is the best part of. Right now it's looking like the gear is the best part of the whole shebang. But again, I'll rate the gear separately. But for now, let's continue on with the skins. Katana with MK3 Katana. We'll go over Sea Breezer now. So we have Soul Survivor Katana. This is basically going to be the same. The only reason why it's going to get the extra half point over Katana, or over Scarlet, I almost said Sindel, is because these skins, is because Katana actually had this skin. She actually was in Mortal Kombat 3. A lot like Jade, which is why I'm not too remiss about her kind of getting these. But again, come on guys, this is lazy. This is lazy. Some of the colors are nice. Ooh, I like that deep purple. I like that deep purple, but again, I'm just a sucker for purple in general, so it is what it is. And in my opinion, wait a minute, is this a Deadly Alliance color? Okay, comment if I'm right or wrong about this, but it looks like this is supposed to be a Deadly Alliance color. So that actually kind of pushes this up to, did I give it a 3.5? Because I'm going to give this a 4 if this is a Deadly Alliance color, but it is what it is. As for gear, again, we'll talk about it later, but we have what would basically be the same mask. I think this is where I'm going to dock the most amount of points, just because the mask is going to basically be the same. Lethal Breeze. I'll talk about that bit later. And then, of course, Mirrored Edge. So, back at it we go, because we have one more to talk about. And, of course, it is MK3J. Now, we're actually going to temporarily replace this skin with this one because I want to see if they do the same thing. So far, it's looking like they do. Again, it's the same skin, just in green colors, green and then black, and then I guess a wild card color. But honestly, no. I do like this really deep green though. I don't know, it just jumps out at me a little more, so I'm gonna roll with it. But I want to see when it comes to stabs. This one also has purple, so this is a 4.5 out of 10. This is a safe bet for a 4.5 out of 10. This is right now the best of the female skins, again. But that's just because of the unique gimmick. And again, we're rating the gear separately at the end of the video, but so far so good on the gear. But again, this mask is going to be the weak spot because it's literally the same. I understand that it's supposed to be literally the same because, you know, it's an MK3 mask and it's supposed to be a palette swap, but wouldn't have minded if they had at least stuck in a different pattern or something. Now, let's very quickly talk about, let me catch you guys up on where we're at. Scarlet's is a 3, Katana's is a 3.5, and, nope, Katana's is a 4, and Jade's is a 4.5. I forgot. Okay, let's talk very quickly about the MK3 skins that I did not cover. This is for Jax, Kung Lao, and Kano. Now, I'm going to get Kano out of the way mostly because he's my least favorite character in the entire game. So I want to get him out of the way before I have to talk about it much more than necessary. So we have this skin. That's launched, though. If we look for his MK3 skin, which I believe is right here. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, this is objectively worse. I mean, I never understood why, like, I got it for the ninjas, but I never understood why Kano got those big flaps on the front. But if we go back to his MK11 version of MK3, it's just better. Even with the longer flaps making it look a little bit silly. I like the design of how the legs are, and there's actual kind of like detail. It looks like it's made out of leather, at least. It looks like it's made out of a material. This just looks way too shiny and plain. This almost looks like it's made out of like latex or something. I don't know. I am not a fan of this one. I'm gonna give this one this one's gonna get a 3 out of 10 for me, and trust me, that's not bias. You're gonna see probably more of that in the future. Excuse me. Next, we have Kung Lao. And I'm pretty sure Kung Lao already has his MK3 human skin. We have Understudy, and then if we compare it to Classic Revenant. No, I think this is actually MK3 because in MK3 he didn't have a shirt underneath. This is the best of the classic skins, I think. And it's basically the only one I actually have on anything. But if we compare this skin to what we got as inspiration, we have, shades aside, we do have the extra lion things on there and a little more detail going on. But this is actually not short on detail either. We have the MK dragon on the belt, we have the large Chinese character, which I don't know what it means, so don't ask me. Anybody who has a background in either of the Chinese languages would probably be able to tell me, but yeah, there's actually quite a bit going on here, but it isn't so much as just like, whoa. You know what I mean? It's not like this particular hat that Kung Lao has for some reason. I just gotta scroll down a little bit. Where is it? Oh, I'm not far enough down. That's why. Where am I? What? Where's this hat? Where's this? There's this really big, stupid, ridiculous hat that Kung Lao has with a whole lot of patterns on it. I can't see it anywhere. Well, whatever's the case. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not over-designed, but it still looks really good. This is a 6.5 out of 10 for me. I actually kind of like this skin. Is it my favorite Kung Lao skin? Not really. And is it better than these skins? I don't know. They're about the same. Oh wait, I think the real analog is this one. Yes, it's better than this one, but I don't think it's better than the one with the lion patterns on it. It's definitely a good in-between, though. I really like this one. I kind of like this one. And then we have Jax. Jax. Buddy, pal, friend. Did you really need to bring back the purple pants? Let's be honest here. Did you really need to bring them back? And what I mean by that is, well, let's take a look at purple pants. Well, what would be purple pants? So, this is the closest to MK3 because MK3 Jax doesn't have a beard. So we're going to compare it to this one and not this one because this one has a beard and is just older. So this would be the closest to MK3 that you could get if you wanted to make Mortal Kombat 3 Jax. Because Jax does have the classic arms. He had them since launch. It's just that nobody was able to get their hands on them until until relatively recently. I think right around the time that MK3 Jax dropped, because it was the very first gold. It was the very first gold vault unlock. Anyway, back at the crypt. Anyhow, this is the one that we got in Mortal Kombat 11. We got camouflage pattern. It's purple. He's just wearing pants. He's not wearing a shirt. That's fine. Whatever, right? And you can even kind of get alternate sort of shades on the arms with the camouflage and all that. And there's even ones that don't have camouflage, or at the very least it's so subtle that you can't really see it. Yeah, no, this one just straight up doesn't have it. So if you want the purple, you have the option right here. And if you want no camo, you have the option in red. If we go to MK3, starting with Outworld Investigator, again, the purple pants look like they're made out of spandex or some sort of stretchy material. It's more gymnastics wear than anything, and Jax don't do gymnastics. The classic boots are there, and of course, being a 90s skin, we have all the pouches going. I feel like this is going to be the closest in terms of comparison outside of Kung Lao, but this was ultimately the most unnecessary. Why did we get it for Jax? Jax didn't need this. We already had the next best thing, and there is a little more detail going, but on the pants themselves, but on the belt. And I'm gonna give it, and actually, I know we're not rating these skins, but this skin and this skin are gonna get about the same rating of a 6 out of 10 for me. The best shirtless Jax skin is with the beard, and that's fully, admonishly, 100% because the guy's got a beard. I love the beard. Look, we even get purple. I didn't even realize that we got a purple variant for Jax here. So I'm just gonna throw that on. I'm gonna change this to be something else because I'm pretty sure I haven't changed this since we got it at launch. The fact that there's 4 separate purple variants is actually kind of surprising too. Well, that's close to Farmer Jax. I'll take that. But anyway, yeah. This is a This is a 7 out of 10 purely because of the beard. I am a big sucker for beards. I like me some beardy beards. But the others are a 6 out of 10. They're definitely not bad. They're probably the best classic skins that we have. But again, especially for Jax, it wasn't necessary. Now finally, let's talk about Sonya. Now, I had War Games on for the longest time because I actually do like this skin. It's, I know earlier I think I said Jax was the best, but looking at it again, I think Sonya's has the best at about a 7 out of 10. But I kind of like the faux MK3 more. It's obviously not one-to-one, but you have different color options. You have black and purple and black and yellow. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Shut up. And while these outfits overall are a lot more colorful, and I wouldn't fault you for liking these skins more than these guys, for sure. I don't know. The thing that gets me for this skin is it's again a little too samey. It's a tank top with some high pants, and it's like Sonya's gym outfit. Is it better than, say, a maximum efficiency or whatever these skins are called? We'll call it blading because that's the first skin that we see, possibly. But it's one of those ones that's just so up in the air that I'm gonna kind of give it the same score that I would give these two the same score of a 7 out of 10. Now, all of these skins have gear, but I don't think I'm going to talk about their gear right now, because if I want to rate the gear, we would have to turn it into a stream, because every character has at least 90 gear pieces across the board, right? Because it's 30 of each. 30 times 33 is... Well, 30 times 30 is like 900, right? I'm sure it's something like that. 30 times 33 is 990. And that's just for 30. We have 33, 32, 35. So we have easily over 1,000 pieces of gear that we'd have to go through. That would take an extraordinarily long time. However, we will be rating the gear for the classic MK3 gear, because I actually have it. I don't have the MK2 gear, so I have to rate it separately. I have to rate the gear separately here, because otherwise we wouldn't have, it wouldn't be fair. Like, if I rated the MK3 skins and gear together, it wouldn't be fair to the MK2 review, because I didn't rate the classic gear there. You know what I mean? Because I don't have it. But, again, across the board, we're actually going to use Scarlet for this one to start off, because the only matchless katana I have is this one. I mean, I could rate it off katana here. You know what? We'll start with katana. If we go down to Future Empress, because this is basically exactly the same skin, it's just a different color based off of the character in question. It gets the same rating of a 5 out of 10. It's a very simple, gets the job done mask that doesn't have any extra fluff. No metal attachments, no crazy crowns, no patterns. It's very basic, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. I do like the little detail of like the carp dragon skin looking pattern on the front, so I might actually, I'm gonna actually bump it up to a 6 out of 10. There's definitely 5s here, like, I don't know, Handmaid of Delia, Lady of the Shadows is definitely like in that same sort of like 6, 7 out of 10 vein, because it's very basic, but it has a pattern that makes it unique. So across the board, I'm gonna give Future Empress and Scarlet and Jade's versions of this mask a 6 out of 10. Now that we're on Katana, let's talk about her fan. Let's talk about her MK3 fan, which is known as Lethal Breeze. This looks the most like a traditional Japanese fan, which a lot of these fans have blades. This doesn't. However, because it looks the most traditional, it doesn't have the most amount of frill to it. And I, as you have probably surmised, like a little bit of frill. I like a little bit of extra. I like the fact that combat knives has all of this stabby stuff going on, and one of my favorite fans is Razorback Breeze, because if you look at this thing, it's fairly simple, but it has a pattern and a whole lot of edge to it. This, what is it called again? The Lethal Breeze. It's just a metal folding fan. It's not my favorite fan out there because it's a little bit too plain. I know that's because it's with an MK3 skin, but that's kind of why I don't like the classic skins in the first place. They're just plain. So I'm gonna give the Lethal Breeze a 5 out of 10. Oh, before I forget, let's very quickly do an average of all of the skins that I rated today. So Scarlet's Classic was a 3. Jade's was Katana's was a 4. What did I give? What did I give Jade? I gave Jade a 4.5. Kano's, I'm pretty sure I gave a 3. My calculations may be a little bit off, but I'm gonna give Kano a 3 just because it's definitely worse than the one that we got. Kung Lao's was a 6.5, and so was Jax. And Sonya was a 7 out of 10. Across the board, so that's 7 skins. That leaves an average of 4.92. So we're gonna just round it up a little bit to an average of 5 out of 10 for the MK3 style skins. They're better because there's more going on. You know what I mean? Anyway, just a quick side point before I get into Mirrored Edge. This is easily the most basic Sai that we have for Melina. Or, for Melina. See, that's the problem with giving her the Melina skin, for giving her Melina's weapons. I mean, let's look at the Needler. There's a little bit of glow to it. There's a big glowy pattern at the bottom there. Deathhawk is huge. And then its letter opener variant has some patterning to it. Some of these are more elaborate than others. Even the Skeleton Sai has more going on than Mirrored Edge. So Mirrored Edge is just a perfect, flat 5 out of 10. Now let's talk Scarlet, because this is what prompted me to rate the gear in the first place. Let's start... Wait, we don't have to do the mask, because we already did that. Let's start with this fucking knife. This knife right here. Look at this thing. I love the squiggly knives. There aren't too many of them in Mortal Kombat 11. In fact, I don't think Scarlet has any, unless I'm mistaken. But I'm pretty sure somebody had squiggly knives. But if nobody does, then that's just another point in this court. This is one of the most unique sort of looks for the weapon because it's modeled off of actual ceremonial daggers and actually Ashura's Chris sword from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I really like this knife. It's probably the best thing to come out of the Femme Fatale skin pack. I'm gonna give this like a 7.5 out of 10. I like this knife. And in a similar vein, pun not intended, we have right at the bottom here the Cinnabarian Corpuscles Vial. This is a vial, so it's not going to be too crazy. Like, if we look at Reiko's remains, we have these crazy elaborate patterns. We have some fairly exotic shapes and patterns and weavings and all of that kind of thing. So, Cinnabarian isn't the most crazy, but I like the kind of warped glass. It's simple, but it has that little extra edge to make it look better. This is a 6.5 out of 10 vial for me. Very odd thing to rate, sure, but right now, overall, Scarlet has the best. Now let's talk about Jade. And this time we're not going to factor the purple into it because that's a skin thing. Glaive of Outworld is okay. I actually kind of like it. I like that the cutting edge is green to imply that it's got some sort of magic edge to it to make it cut better. But it reminds me of some of the other big glaives, of the other big boy glaives, like the Imperial Executioner is actually a really good example of that, because it's about that same size, it's just a little more wicked in design. It's a little bit simpler, but that little extra bit gives this kind of crawl blade looking thing a what did I give the vial? 6.5? Yeah, so it gets a 6.5 as well. The staff, however, this is again an example of taking simple too damn far. Rod of Edenian Might doesn't have all that much. It's just a big green stick with a little bit of intricacy to it. This is a 5.5 out of 10 for me. Actually, do I have any of the classic? No, I don't have the classic map, so I don't think I have any of the classic gear. But yeah, that's basically my review. The MK3 quote femme fatale skins. It's just MK3 ninjas again, and rating of the MK3 skins overall. Let me know what your favorite or least favorite of the classic skins are. Mine was definitely Sonya's, with Jax being a close second. But I'm very keen to know what you guys think. Don't forget to be awesome, my friends. I'll see you guys on the other side. And I just got 200 subscribers the other day, so thank you guys ever so much for that. It makes me super excited for the future of this channel, because it is beginning to grow, baby. 5 years of effort is finally beginning to pay off. But I'll see you guys on the other side. Cheerio.